Well, hello and welcome to this episode of the Terri Cole Show. I am having a really interesting conversations with one of my pals, Cassandra Bodzak, who has a brand new, nope, we're going to do that again because I said her name wrong. Cassandra Bodzak. Oh, I think that's how you say it. Anyway, start again. Well, hello and welcome to this episode of the Terri Cole Show. I'm so excited. I have a special guest on today. She is an author. She is an inspirational leader. Her name is Cassandra Bodzak, and she has a new book coming out, which is called Manifesting Through Meditation, 100 Guided Practices to Harness the Power of Your Thoughts and Create the Life You Want. That is coming out in, I think, a week from now. So Cassandra really focuses on helping women all over the world make peace with their bodies, quiet their minds, and reconnect with their souls. I hope that you enjoy my conversation with Cassandra as much as I enjoyed talking to her. Cassandra, hi.
Hi, it's so great to be here.
Welcome to the Terri Cole Show. I'm so excited that you are here. The last time we were jamming on your Divine Downloads podcast that came out,
Yes.
I think, in the end of July, we had so much fun. We'd reconnected after not connecting for a number of years. So, welcome to the show. Congratulations on your book. I'm so excited because you know how much I love meditation. So it's Manifesting Through Meditations is the name of your book. So congratulations. Tell us what inspired you to write it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, it's so nice. We both had like book babies bring us together in the same year after so many years. And it's been so lovely. And for anyone that's listening that hasn't listened to the podcast where me and Terri talk on my show, it's just so juicy, so juicy.
Yep.
Um, yeah. And manifesting through meditation, have my little cute book baby here for those of you who are watching on video. Um, it came through because I think, meditation has been the foundation for my spiritual practice since my spiritual awakening, we'll call it, or my rock bottom moment since day one. Meditation has been kind of the consistent, you know, thing that holds everything together. And so the past couple years I was thinking about writing a second book, and a lot of what I teach people is about how to be the conscious creators of their life, how to, I call it, divinely design their life, right? Working with the infinite and their higher power and the universe, to really consciously choose the life that they want to live, from everything, from like the people they want to surround themselves with and the feel that they want to have and how much fun and play, and of course the bigger things everyone thinks about, like money and career and things like that, but really down to like the juicy bits of the day. I believe in designing your life. And when I was writing it out, one of the things that I felt was really missing from the marketplace or missing from the conversation was just really how important meditation is, to that, and how foundational meditation is to that process. And I think, for me, meditation has been the holy grail, so to say, of that process, and something that I couldn't imagine being where I am right now without in my life, and still to this day is a lifeline. I like to say it was a survival line, and now it's a thriving line too.
Right, right. That's
So
amazing.
I want to hit that home because I feel like a lot of people, will hear all these kind of, let's say, spirituality light ways of, manifesting or having things happen, and then they're wondering, like, why is it not working? I'm saying my affirmations, or whatever it is that they're doing, like, I don't understand why my life is not changing. And I fundamentally believe that it's probably because they're not meditating.
I have to say, it's funny, Cassandra, I have a similar story to you in that meditation became this wake up call, this cornerstone of getting still enough to even figure out what the hell I wanted actually and how I wanted to feel, and then creating enough space to take the action. So let's demystify a little bit. When people talk about manifesting, there is a lot of magical thinking that goes along with manifesting. So tell me how you think things are manifested, and how is this going to, if people buy your book, I hope they do, where can they get it if they want to buy it?
You can get it anywhere books are sold. Right now it's pre-ordering on Amazon. It'll
Excellent.
be out everywhere September 21st.
Excellent. So talk us through this process of manifesting with guided meditations.
Well, I love what you just said was the perfect intro into it about how you first had to get still enough to even figure out what you wanted. So that's kind of the way I designed the book. It's 100 different meditations. The first 10 meditations are like 5-minute meditations for the person that is just dipping their toes in right now to get that process going. Things like connecting to your heart, connecting to your best self, finding divine peace, just little things that I think in the beginning will get their feet wet, get them in the process. And then as they go on will be these nice like back pocket meditations, I call them, that they can do in their car or like in the restroom or whatever, if they need like that little fix. But then the process, the way I do it, the way I walk you through it in the book is the first 10 full meditations are all about just remembering who you are, connecting to the infinite, the universe, God, love, whatever, by whatever name you want to call it. It's connecting to that, what I call it, like the infinite within you and your connection to the divine. And that I feel like is where you have to start, because so many of us have forgotten who we are, and we've forgotten that true divine essence that lives within us. So that's the first part of manifesting. We can't skip that part because it's really important. And that becomes a seed of possibility, because I think once you know who you are, then you also know that you have all these possibilities, right? And then it goes to the next part, which is what you just talked about, which is then we go looking at our soul's desires, and we go into, once we've remembered who we are, now we can finally take that moment and say, okay, well, what my soul, not just what my human think it wants because I saw it on Instagram, but what does my soul really come here to experience and to explore, and what does that look like? And so there's 10 different meditations to have you go on all of these different experiences and kind of hit it from all these different angles to be able to uncover that clarity of how do I want to feel in my life? And one of the practices we do in that section is getting to the essence of our desire, because sometimes we think we want the package of our desire, but what we really want is the essence, which is like, for example, the package might be being the CEO of Twitter, I don't know, whatever, right? But
Right.
that was a silly example, but that's the package. But the essence is maybe to lead a technology company, or a company that you feel like is innovating communications or something, right?
Right.
So we like strip it down. So that's on that. And then the next 10 meditations move you through all of the fears, the blocks, the childhood programming that told you that whatnot. So we strip all of the fears and all the things that are blocking you from just going for that and taking the aligned actions and moving that. And then the next section is quantum embodiment, and that is where we step into being the person that would be the head of the technology company that's innovating communication, or whatever you're manifesting is, right? The person that is at more peace and ease, whatever that desire is. There's 10 different meditations to help you get really clear on how does that person handle their day? How does that person set boundaries? Right? How does that person communicate? What actions do they take? And all throughout every and so that's the chunk of like the meditation process in the book. And then the next 50 meditations are divided up by different categories. So if you specifically want to manifest something around health and your body, there's 10 different meditations. Romantic relationships, 10 different meditations. Purpose, career, 10 different, money, all the different subcategories that you can kind of dive deeper into. But those first four, I say, are like the four foundational elements. And, you know, each level of them has you doing the meditation, but then, to refer to what you're saying, magical thinking. Every part of the book reminds you that after your meditation, you then ask for divine guidance and say, how can I use my hands, my feet, my mouth? How do I go out there and take action in the world and either, be of service or follow whatever guidance I have to take that next right action to apply for the job, or, put myself out there, set that boundary, or, all those like real earthly things that we need to do.
Okay. So in speaking to the not magical thinking part, which you just did, it sounds to me like the book goes in order where this is as you said, the foundational pieces, because I always think I love what you're saying about it. It's so important that what you think matters, how you feel matters, stripping away the generalities around like, I want to be successful. And you're like, okay, well, that's hard to manifest because you need to know what you want to do to be successful or whatever, need to know how you feel. And when you walk through that whole process, when you get to the end part where we're actually taking action, where we are shifting a perspective from the meditation, even if you have in your mind someone who would own that kind of a technology company that could innovate communication, let's just say, going with the example, what would that look like? What would that be like? Because what I think is really brilliant about the way you've laid this out is that so much of the time my therapy clients would say, I can't even picture it. Like whatever the thing is that I'm saying, okay, well, but let's talk about it. Let's paint it. Let's build it. Let's feel into it. What is it? What is it that you want to happen? And they'll be like, well, that person will never change. Or my family is like this. And we've always worked too much and not made enough money, or whatever we have this lineage that is handed to us. And so the visualization piece and what is so powerful about guided meditations is that your mind, of course, is so incredibly powerful. And so you're really conjuring the thoughts and the feelings, it sounds like, that go along with creating what you want in your life. But you've got to give yourself permission, which is what the first part of the book is about, to want, as Danielle Laporte would say, want what you want with all your heart.
Yes. Amen. I think that is just, I've had clients as well that echo that sentiment where they're like, I can't even picture it. And that's why I think it's so important, the visualizing your desires, and then the quantum embodiment sections are like the sexier ones that everyone wants to like dive into. But it's truly the remembering who you are and connecting to your divine essence, and looking at all the lineage issues, the fears, the beliefs, all the things that are stopping you. Like those are the ones that will move the needle, right? That are
Yep.
really the essential ones. And that's what I tell, even for myself, every time because we're all constantly manifesting our next level and doing that. And every time I go back, every time there's a new thing, I have to go back to the beginning again with that, right? And at this point, I'm lucky because that first step is pretty strong within me because I've been doing it for a long time. But
Right.
I still have to go and clear all the things and look like, where is this in my family? Or did I have past lives maybe where I have a block around this?
Mm-hmm.
Do I have some beliefs from whatever it was, from society or whatnot, and clearing that stuff? And I think those are the things that maybe feel less exciting or whatnot to do. It's
Right.
kind of like the dirty work. But I use this cupcake example because in my former life I had a gluten-free vegan bakery, so I think in cupcakes sometimes. And it's like, if you have like a bad cupcake, right? If you made, let's just say, like a cupcake that tastes like dirt, you know, and and you put some icing on it that also tasted like dirt, it's not enough to just take the icing off and put some nice pink strawberry icing on it. It's like you have to remake the whole cupcake, You
Right.
can't put pretty icing on a dirt cupcake. And
Not that I want to eat.
right. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing with our manifestations. It's like we can't, unfortunately, I wish it was, because it would make everyone's life maybe a lot easier. But we can't just say, oh, I want to, become that whatever tech company CEO or whatnot, because there's a reason that we're not already that,
Right.
right? And we're not already that because we haven't removed all of these things that have told us not to. And that's part of the reason, if we don't do that inner work and remember who we are and clear all the things, then what happens is you don't even get to the earthly action part of it. You don't
Right.
even take those like little steps to move you forward because you feel so unworthy of it. You feel so disconnected from it.
Right. So for people who haven't had this experience, like I want to make sure that people who are listening realize you don't need to be a meditator. Is that correct?
You don't need to be a meditator to start meditating and do the book, And the way I wrote the book, I am gonna, as like part of the pre-order book bonuses, provide some jumpstart guided meditations and a workshop and whatnot for people to help get them going. But I really wrote the meditations in the book because when I first decided to do this, I was like, oh, written meditations, is it a thing? Can I do it? And and the way I did it is, this is one called Shaking Off Negative Thoughts. And there's literally only 4 bullet points here. And my aim with every meditation in this book is that maybe you'll need the book for the first like couple times you do it, but then you'll just know, right? You'll just know, okay, I'm feeling a lot of negative thoughts going into this Zoom job interview today or whatnot. I want to shake them off. Okay, Cass's shake them off thing, right? And you put on your music or whatever and you do your shaking out negative thoughts meditation, and they're really meant so that you can do it a couple times and then you add them to your repertoire and you
Right.
get to the place where now you're not dependent on having a guided meditation on your phone or downloading something or anything like that. You have this access. And the aim of this book was to make it accessible to anyone. And I really think when people start reading them, they're going to be like, oh my God, this is way easier than I thought it was. I just needed some simple guidelines, because I think sometimes when people think meditation, they're like, what am I going to do? I'm just going into the abyss by myself. And
Right. Right. It's like scary. And also there's always questions because I also teach meditation, as you know, and have, guided meditation CDs. There's always this assumption like I'm doing it wrong. I need to be sitting in an exact way. What you're really talking about, Cassandra, though, that I love is that our brains retain a lot of things. And if you this, as much as you can do it in order to build the foundation, this will also become this, it's a paperback, which I love. So you can throw it in your bag and it is a reference guide for when you are in a situation and you're like, there must be a meditation for this. So you said shaking off, let's say, negative feelings. The few times you'll take to read it, maybe even twice, when you're in that moment and you need that, what you're really doing, if we think about it from a neurological point of view, is by reading this and by creating repetitive thought patterns, you're up leveling the thought patterns that you're having that are not working for you. If you have a lot of negative self-talk, right?
absolutely, absolutely. And that is the aim. That's why, I wanted it to be, I call it like pocketbookable.
Yeah.
At least a New York pocketbook.
Yeah, exactly.
It's because that's it. It's like I put it in that order to help someone if they wanted that structure to move through. But it is like that. I really hope, like, when something is coming up, because I always say, meditation can really be medication, right? It can be divine medication. And so it's like, people always loved, and I'm sure you get this too. People are always like, how much should I meditate? Right. And I'm like, well, I can, give you like 20 minutes or 20 minutes twice a day or whatnot. But I always say, I meditate the same way like I would medicate, if I medicated or whatnot, in that way of like, if you stub your toe, then yeah, maybe do 20 minutes a day. If you cut off your leg, maybe you need more.
Right.
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 And so in the times of my life when I'm like really going through it, I meditate more. And
Right.
this book also has that, like you mentioned, it's like, if there's one that's called Watching Your Comeback Movie, right? And so if you're going through a time where you're feeling like pretty down on yourself, then you might want to do Watching Your Comeback Movie every single day in addition to your regular practice, right?
Will you read Watching Your Comeback Movie for us?
Yes. Um, Watching Your Comeback Movie. We're the directors and the leading actors of the movie of our life. In this meditation, we'll go into our subconscious to allow ourselves to witness our comeback and programming our deepest self for it. So, 1, find a comfortable position where you can sit or lie down. Close your eyes and begin focusing on your breath.
Hold on, listeners, if you are somewhere safe, let's do this right now. I'm closing my eyes. Go.
I love it. Okay. So, close your eyes and begin focusing on your breath. Just allow any stress or tension to leave your body. Let your body relax more and more deeply. And if any thoughts arise, just let them float away, bringing your focus back to your breath and an even deeper surrender to relaxation. Feel the expansiveness of space all around your body. Feel yourself floating in this endless space. Become one with the infinite space and take as much time as you need to get here. Now allow yourself to witness your own comeback movie. See yourself from this very moment, watching the montage of events leading you to your next level of life. See all the possibilities coming to you. Feel your attitude, your energy, and absorb all of the excitement of your transformation. Soak it all in. Feel your comeback in every particle of your body. Breathe in gratitude, knowing it's already happening. Sit here in gratitude for several breaths, just enjoying the feeling of your comeback. And when you're ready, open your eyes and start living your comeback story.
Wow, Cassandra, I love that so much. Thank you for doing it.
Yay!
Amazing.
So as a little, it's a quick thing you can just read through, but obviously if you were doing that by yourself, you would just really allow yourself to take the time to get into that infinite space. Everyone's going to take a little bit different time to get there.
Right.
And then you allow yourself to sit in that comeback movie and all of the feelings and kind of watch that movie montage of, what are all those juicy things that you see like reviving in your life and moving through your life. And, I love what you said before about how we really use it to reprogram our brain, right? Because if you're in a tough moment, like let's say you hit a snag with your career or whatever's going on and you're feeling like poopy about it or whatever for
Right.
lack of a great word, if you find yourself going down that kind of rabbit hole where you're getting down on yourself, where you're like, oh, like I don't know what's going to happen or whatnot, right? And then you're like, stop, drop, I'm going to take 10 minutes and go into that infinite space and play my comeback movie, right? And the more you do that, the more you're reprogramming your neural pathways to, as soon as that you start feeling that, your neural pathways are like, wait, no, we're living our comeback movie. What are you talking about?
Right. Right. It's so true. And the amazing thing about the way you've designed this is that we have the power to change. It feels so much of the time that our thoughts happen to us. And yet what you're really teaching us in this book is that we have the power to happen to our thoughts and think thoughts and feel feelings that are aligned with what we want.
Absolutely.
And then it taps into the universe. And here's the thing, regardless of what you believe, because if you're listening or watching this on YouTube and you're like, maybe you don't believe in God or you don't believe in whatever, it's really not about that, because you believe in your brain, right? You understand that neuroscience works a particular way. And I say open your mind, because you don't have to have a particular belief system or religious belief system to have what this book is offering actually have a really positive impact on your life. So if you are interested in getting Manifesting Through Meditations, 100 guided meditations that inspire you to open yourself up to the energy of the universe, you can get it where all good books are sold. And are you having bonuses that if people buy before the 21st of September? So where can people get all that good stuff?
Yeah. So at Cassandra, oh, there we go. At CassandraBodzak.com/manifesting, I'm offering 3 different bonuses for if you order it before September 21st. One is I'm giving you the unedited part 1 of the book. So you'll see in the beginning of the book, I explain kind of my whole manifesting process and what is meditation, and all of that. Well, when I wrote it, I actually wrote a much more in-depth one, but as you probably are familiar with Terri, chop, chop, chop goes the editors. and so, but it was so good that actually my editor felt really bad about how much he had to chop to make it fit the book requirements or whatnot. And so we came up with this idea. We really wanted the readers to have this extended version of part 1 that really is like super juicy and goes into the whole manifestation through meditation process, and gives lots of great examples and stuff. So that I'm sending to you PDF. So you'll get that. That'll be like a great little treat you get while you're waiting for your book to come. You're also going to get 5 guided meditations from the book. And there'll be one from each of those, cornerstone chapters that I talked to you about. So for those of you that are just starting your meditation journey and you're a little bit nervous about going it on your own, those will be able to get your feet wet. And you also get to start doing this process even before you get the book in your hands.
Right on.
And then finally, I'm going to give them a Manifesting Through Meditation virtual workshop, which will be like if you sat down for an hour with me and I was on Zoom with you and was kind of, showing you the ropes and helping, you with any frequently asked questions about manifesting or meditation, and just really telling you exactly how you can, make this book transform your life. So they'll get all of that if they pre-order the book, and then just go to CassandraBodzak.com/manifesting.
I love it so much. Thank you so much, Cassandra, for putting this beautiful work out into the world. I love it. I appreciate you, sending you so much love. Thank you for spending so much time with us today. And everyone, go out and get Cassandra's book, Manifesting Through Meditations. Who the hell doesn't want that? We all do.
Thank you so much, Terri. You're amazing. I really appreciate you having me on the show.
Anytime, sister.